Okay, so finally we've got this back to the sex thing. And I get tired of talking about the sex thing because I feel that everybody is a hypocrite and everybody is, even the people who are taking the high road and saying we can't elect anybody who is guilty of sexual malfeasance without taking into account the other person who is running against them. You know, I mean, I think it's awful the way these guys treat women. I truly do. I think if a woman cannot get into an elevator in our Congress without feeling safe, it really does bother me. You know, Cokie Roberts said that yesterday. It really does bother me that the press knew this and just covered up for them, almost certainly because they're Democrats. Republicans. There were Republicans saying that since Trump is dragging us all down, as if Republicans were somehow morally better than Democrats, especially on things like this. It is very, very possible that Republicans have behaved better toward women than Democrats have for the simple reason that the press would burn them. If Cokie Roberts, you would never see Cokie Roberts saying, oh yeah, we covered up for Ted Cruz, but every woman knew that you couldn't get into an elevator with Ted Cruz. She would never say that, which she did say about John Conyers, the icon, the Democrat icon. You would never hear them flacking for Al Franken. Al Franken, the guy, he really is a piece of work. He's gone out and made these non-apology apologies. Back in the Nixon era, Woodward and Bernstein used to make fun of Nixon because he would have non-denial denials. Now we have the non-apology apology. He can't remember. He would never, what did he say? I would never touch a woman's buttocks intentionally. Now, I can't say that. I don't know any man who can actually say that. It's just which woman and did she give you permission? So here is Al Franken doing an interview. I just find this mealy-mouthed and despicable. Here is his interview, basically his apology tour.
Franken did unequivocally apologize for the photograph from that same trip that shows him smiling with his hands over Tweeden's breasts.
The picture, that was inexcusable, and that's the thing I'm most, I think, ashamed for.
Then there are three other women, Lindsay Mentz and two others who came forward anonymously in a Huffington Post article. All have similar stories claiming that Franken, while posing for pictures with them, grabbed their buttocks. They say the incidents happened between 2007 and 2010, when Franken was either running for office or was a United States senator.
Are they mistaken that their butt was grabbed? Is that what you're saying?
I am not saying that. I don't remember these. As I said, I take thousands of photos, so I don't remember these particular photos.
I think with all due respect, I think people are going to look at this and find it hard to believe that someone such as yourself wouldn't know that they were grabbing somebody's butt.
I can understand how people would feel that way.
But have you ever placed a hand on some woman's butt?
You know, I can't say that that hasn't happened.
I love the guy. He's still a pretty good comic, I have to say. I always admired him as a comic, and that's still pretty funny. I can't remember, you know, I just don't remember I remember that I've taken a lot of pictures with people, but I don't remember the ones where I was grabbing the woman's butt at the time. Those slip my mind. And the Democrats, the same people who are parading around going, oh, the horror of Roy Moore, oh, the horror of Roy Moore, here they are defending Al Franken and John Conyers when asked whether these guys should resign. Because the one thing you didn't hear Franken say was, I resign. You didn't hear him say anything even remotely like that. Because he ain't going anywhere. And they're using this thing. The ethics committee has to investigate all these people, which is basically where they send this stuff to die when they're not using your tax dollars to pay hush money to the women. So here is a montage of Democrats coming out with their incredible virtue to defend Al Franken and John Conyers.
Do you think Al Franken should resign?
I think that's up to the people of Minnesota, and I do think we need to have the ethics investigation first.
What do you think?
Do you now think that your colleague Conyers should resign from the House?
No, and I don't think the rules are different from anyone else because we see that one of the biggest isms that we have a problem with in America is sexism, along with racism.
What do you think should happen to him? Should he resign?
That's the question that will have to be determined after the investigation. Obviously, more than just an apology.
But do you think he should resign from his seat in Congress?
Well, I really don't know.
Your colleague, Al Franken, has been accused. Do you think he should resign?
I think that is a distraction to be talking about resignation, because what's really at the bottom of this whole issue of sexual harassment is that it is pervasive.
So basically, no, we're not giving up one single vote anywhere. Nobody is giving up any single vote. Trump is being hit for not, Trump says he's not going to campaign in Alabama for Roy Moore, but he's not attacking him either, and he's saying we need the vote in there. And I have to say, even the people, especially some of the never-Trumpers who say, basically, who try to lift themselves above this, I don't think that that's a moral stance either. Democratic politics sullies you because the people who get elected from the beginning of time are sometimes bad people. Thomas Jefferson, not a great person, really. Some of the stuff he was doing. John F. Kennedy, people blame Clinton for changing the game by basically staying in office after he was caught, but that's not fair. I mean, John Kennedy was doing terrible things in the White House and in the Oval Office. They just didn't cover it. What changed the game with Bill Clinton was the Drudge exposed him. What changed the game with Bill Clinton was that the new media overrode the hereditary media, the corporate media, and started to tell these stories. That's what's changed the game. It's not that people are doing anything different. It's that they're all being exposed now, not because of CBS or NBC or ABC, but because of Drudge, because of the internet. So this stuff, now we have the new situation that we have is not that men chase women around desks. That's not the new situation. The new situation now is that you can't do it in secret, is that everything gets exposed. Democrats, Republicans, everybody gets exposed. And it turns out, oh my gosh, we're all hypocrites. We all will vote for the guy as long as we get the vote. Maybe we should have known that, but it does create this sense of that we're in a moral morass. It creates a sense that we have moral chaos. And this has been going on. I mean, it's galling that the left, which has been undermining our sexual morality for 50, 60 years, is now wagging its finger in our face and saying men should be gentlemen after it's just finished telling us that to treat women for 50 years, that treating women differently than you treat men is a bad thing.